Let me ask you something. What's standing in your way right now? What's that thing so big, so impossible that it makes you question if you got what it takes? Is it failure, doubt, fear? Maybe it's a past mistake that's weighing you down. Maybe it's people telling you you're not good enough. Whatever it is, I call it a giant. And giants don't just exist in fairy tales. They're real. They stand between you and your destiny. But let me tell you something right now. That giant is not there to stop you. It's there to prove you. See, the problem ain't the giant. The problem is how you see yourself. You keep looking at your struggles like they're unbeatable. You keep talking about your obstacles like they're too big, too strong. But let me remind you, so was Goliath. And history doesn't remember him as a champion, does it? It remembers the man who took him down. I need you to understand something today. Every giant in your life can fall, but it won't happen by accident. It won't happen by wishing for it. It happens when you decide right here, right now, that you're done being afraid, that you're done making excuses, that you're ready to fight back and take what's yours. If you've ever faced something that felt bigger than you, this speech is for you. If you've ever wanted to give up, this speech is for you. If you're tired of watching others win while you sit on the sidelines, this speech is for you. Stay with me, because by the time we're done, you won't just face your giants, you'll slay them. Giants exists to test you, not stop you. Every great story has a villain. Every champion has a battle. If you want greatness, understand that obstacles come with the territory. Your struggles are proof that you're on the right path. 2, fear is the real enemy, not the giant. Most people lose before they even fight because they let fear win first. Fear will paralyze you, steal your dreams, and make you believe your giant is invincible. But fear is a liar. Giants only look big until you get close enough to swing. 3, your mind is your strongest weapon. You don't need to be the biggest, you don't need to be the strongest, but you do need to be the smartest. The real battle starts in your mind. What you believe, how you prepare, and how you execute. 4, preparation meets opportunity. You don't beat the giant on the battlefield. You beat the giant in the hours nobody sees. Champions don't rise when the spotlight's on them. They rise in the dark when nobody's watching. 5, pain is temporary, but victory is forever. Nobody wants to go through pain, but listen, pain is the price of greatness. You can run from it or you can use it as fuel. Giants aren't beaten by comfort. They're beaten by warriors who are willing to endure. 6, faith over fear. If you don't believe in yourself, you've already lost. The greatest warriors don't fight with their hands first, they fight with their hearts. When you believe you can win, the giant has already lost. 7, small steps lead to big victories. Don't get caught up in the size of the fight. Focus on the next move. Win the day. Win the moment. Small victories add up. And before you know it, the giant is falling. 8, your circle can make or break you. David didn't listen to the doubters. He surrounded himself with those who believed in his mission. Who's in your ear? Who's feeding your mindset? Because the wrong voices will keep you weak, but the right ones will make you a warrior. 9, the fight is won before it starts. The ones who win don't wait until battle day to decide. They've already made up their minds. They've already trained. They've already built the courage. If you prepare like a champion, the giant is defeated before the fight even begins. 10, you were built for this. The giant in front of you wouldn't be there if you weren't strong enough to defeat it. You have everything you need. Now's the time to step up, take your shot, and slay what's standing in your way. This is your moment, right here, right now. The giant is still standing, but so are you. You got two choices. You can walk away, or you can stand up and fight. You can keep making excuses, or you can take action. The choice is yours. But let me tell you this. Every great victory starts with a decision. Decide today that you're not running anymore. Decide today that fear is no longer your master. Decide today that no giant will keep you from your destiny. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the size of the giant. It's about the size of your fight. And if you're ready to fight, I promise you, the giant will fall. Every great story has a villain. Every champion has a battle, and every warrior faces a test. The giants in your life, the struggles, the setbacks, the doubts aren't there to stop you. They're there to see if you have what it takes to rise. See, too many people look at their challenges and think, why me? But I need you to switch that mindset and start asking, why not me? If you're facing a giant, it means you're on the path to something great. Giants don't show up in front of people going nowhere. They only appear when you're moving towards something bigger. Think about it. When you're comfortable, when life is easy, when nothing is pushing back against you, that's not growth. That's stagnation. Giants exist to pull something out of you that you didn't even know was there. They expose your weaknesses, yes, but they also reveal your strength. They force you to level up. They push you to become more disciplined, more determined, more relentless. If you never faced a giant, you'd never know how strong you really are. If you never face resistance, you'd never build the power to overcome. The obstacles in your life are not punishment. They are preparation. They are sculpting you into the person who is capable of handling the success, the greatness, and the destiny waiting for you on the other side. So instead of running from your giant, instead of complaining about how big it is, instead of doubting yourself, stand tall and face it, because that giant isn't there to stop you. It's there to test you. And if you refuse to back down, if you refuse to quit, you will pass that test. And when you do, you will look back and realize that the giant wasn't an obstacle at all. It was the gateway to your next level. Fear is the real enemy, not the giant standing in your way. The problem isn't how big the obstacle is, it's how much power you're giving to your own doubt. Fear is the thing whispering in your ear, telling you that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. Fear is the thing making your giant look bigger than it really is. But let's be real. How many times in your life have you been afraid of something only to realize later that it wasn't as bad as you thought? How many battles have you already fought and won, even when you thought you wouldn't make it? Fear magnifies the challenge, making it seem impossible. But the moment you stop fearing it, the moment you decide to step forward anyway, you take away its power. Fear's a lie. Fear's an illusion. Fear's designed to keep you in place, to keep you from growing, to keep you from stepping into the greatness that is already inside you. But listen to me. Your future is on the other side of that fear. You don't beat giants by waiting for fear to disappear. You beat them by taking action despite the fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward even when you feel it. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the ability to act in the face of fear. So right here, right now, make the decision. Fear will no longer control you. Fear will no longer hold you back. Because once you stop fearing the giant, once you realize that fear itself is the only thing keeping you from your destiny, the giant loses its power. And when that happens, you don't just face your giants, you slay them. Your mind is your strongest weapon. It's not your strength, your talent, or even your resources that determine whether you win or lose. It's the way you think. You don't need to be the biggest or the fastest. You don't need to have all the answers. all the advantages. But if your mindset is strong, if your belief is unshakable, there is no giant that can stand against you. The truth is, most people lose the battle before they even step onto the battlefield. Not because they're weak, not because they're unprepared, but because they've already convinced themselves that they can't win. If you walk into a fight expecting to lose, you've already lost. If you approach your challenges doubting yourself, you're giving your giant the upper hand before the battle even begins. But here's what separates champions from everyone else. They refuse to let negative thoughts take control. They don't see obstacles as walls. They see them as opportunities. They don't dwell on what could go wrong. They focus on how to make it right. When they get knocked down, they don't sit there feeling sorry for themselves. They get up, adjust their strategy, and go at it again. Winning starts in the mind. It starts with the belief that no matter how big the giant is, you are bigger in spirit, in will, and determination. It starts with the understanding that mental toughness beats raw strength every single time. Because let me tell you something. There are people out there with more talent than you, more experience than you, more resources than you, but they don't have your mindset. And that's why they'll break before you do. So guard your mind. Speak life into your situation. Train your thoughts the way you train your body, because the mind that believes in victory is the mind that creates it. And once you master your mindset, you'll realize that the giant was never stronger than you. It just made you think it was. You don't beat the giant on the battlefield. You beat the giant in the hours nobody sees. Champions aren't made in the spotlight. They're made in the dark when no one is watching. The truth is, most people want to win, but they don't want to prepare. They want the victory without the sacrifice, the results without the grind. But let me tell you something. When preparation meets opportunity, that's when giants fall. See, when David stepped onto the battlefield, Goliath wasn't his first fight. He had already been in the field fighting lions and bears. He had already put in the work when nobody was looking. He didn't show up hoping to win. He showed up ready to win. And that's where most people fail. They wait until the moment comes and then they panic because they didn't do the work beforehand. They show up unprepared and expect to somehow find a way to win. But listen to me. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your preparation. If you haven't trained for the battle, you're going to lose the battle. If you haven't sharpened your skills, if you haven't strengthened your mind, if you haven't put in the work, don't be surprised when the giant knocks you down. The great ones don't prepare when the opportunity comes. They prepare before the opportunity comes. They train like warriors. So when the fight arrives, they don't hesitate. They don't second guess. They execute. And that's why they win. So ask yourself, are you preparing for the battle ahead? Or are you just hoping you'll figure it out when you get there? Because the difference between those who win and those who lose is simple. One is prepared and one is not. And if you put in the work now, if you commit to the grind now, when your moment comes, you won't just face the giant, you'll slay it. Pain is temporary, but victory is forever. Right now, you might be in a battle that feels like it's breaking you. The struggle is real. The setbacks are painful, and every part of you wants to quit. But listen to me. The pain you're feeling today is the price for the victory you'll celebrate tomorrow. See, the reason most people never defeat their giants isn't because they aren't capable. It's because they aren't willing to endure. They let pain stop them instead of fuel them. The moment it gets tough, the moment they face resistance, they start looking for a way out. They start making excuses, talking about how unfair life is, how hard the journey is. But what they don't realize is that the very thing they're running from, the pain, the pressure, the struggle, it's the thing that's making them stronger. Every champion, every warrior, every person who's ever achieved greatness has one thing in common. They push through the pain. They understood that pain isn't the enemy, it's the process. It's the fire that refines you, the pressure that shapes you. If you quit when it gets hard, you don't just avoid pain, you forfeit victory. You trade long-term success for short-term comfort. But when you embrace the pain, when you push through despite the struggle, you come out stronger, sharper, and ready for whatever comes next. That's why the great ones don't run from pain. They run toward it. They know that on the other side of pain is growth. On the other side of struggle is strength. And on the other side of the fight is the life you were meant to live. So I need you to make a decision today. Will you let pain break you, or will you let it build you? Because the pain will pass. The struggle will end. But the victory, that lasts forever.